everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports.
As we head towards kickoff, two quarterbacks will be on the field today trying to push their team to victory. It's Cousins' Redskins going up against Smith's Chiefs. With that, let's get out to Arrowhead. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. We are here on a beautiful afternoon for football. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Washington Redskins and the Kansas City Chiefs. The kicker, Dustin Hopkins, set to get this one going. And into a sea of red, we're underway in Kansas City. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Now Smith, and Hill with it over the middle. Charles, Tyreek Hill finished the year with 593 yards, 6 touchdowns, and we saw how he can be versatile in his explosiveness. Only made $450,000 this year. He's just 22 years old. Did he make some money for the future years, though?
Oh, there's no question about that. He made excellent money for himself through incredible play. And to show his impact, I thought we'd go back to the playoff game against Pittsburgh. When Pittsburgh, in their first kickoff, kicked away from him and gave up big-time field position, and Kansas City rolled down and scored, for the rest of the game, they decided, let's kick to him and try and bottle him up. They were successful in this game, but it just shows the impact he has that people want to keep it away from him.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. And certainly a key cog in this offensive wheel is Jeremy Maclin.
You've just got to find ways to get him the ball, whether you put him in the slot or put him out on the perimeter.
3rd down and 8 now. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And Conley's got it over the middle. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. Back to throw, Smith. And it's complete to Kelsey. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
Caught here by Conley. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
Smith throwing again. He's got his man on the crossing route. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. The first down carry here for Charles. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. To throw on second down is Smith. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range. But boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
Simple slant route, and partner, a really nice hard throw by the quarterback.
Nice timing between the quarterback and the receiver. They were perfectly in sync, and he put it right on him on the inside route.
Cousins now. Jackson's got it over the middle. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it's funny, isn't it? Oftentimes when we get with these offensive coordinators, they always talk about the word balance. Well, sometimes you take balance and just throw it out the window. Sometimes balance is using what keeps working, and that's what they were doing, throwing the football.
On 3rd down, Cousins. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. A give. This is Kelly. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that play was vintage Derek Johnson. Made a play in the backfield. In college, he did as an outside linebacker. Used speed to get to the backfield. Now, a bulked-up inside linebacker with multiple Pro Bowls on his resume.
Cousins now on 2nd down. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. That's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Throwing is Cousins. Trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. Looked like they had something going last drive. And then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he's able to bat it away.
And able to find Conley. And he's able to get the 1st before he's taken down at the 36. So an excellent throw and an excellent catch there.
Zone coverage, which means you just have to find the open areas in between defenders. That's exactly what happened on that play.
And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. And the 2-minute warning lurking. This will probably be the last play before we hit it.
Yeah, they want to get themselves in position to score in this last shot before the clock hits.
2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. On second down, here's Smith. Wide open receiver complete. A very solid gain of 27.
Oh, Brandon, this one hurts my heart as a former defensive back. Out in the open field, you've got a chance to get down this receiver. Instead, he breaks through you. You'll hear about this in the film room and from your teammates.
On the counter, it's Charles. And some room to maneuver. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
It's been a struggle this entire game trying to move the ball on the ground. But every now and then you find a little chink in the armor, and that type of run right there lets them know that they can't stop every single run for almost no gain.
Back to throw, Smith. Caught, Kelsey, left side.
There are certain words that sometimes we overuse, but there's one that's really welcome on a player's resume, and that's the word breakout. And I thought Travis Kelsey was one of the breakout stars of 2016 in the NFL. What a season he had with Kansas City.
Over 1,100 yards. Now, to put that into perspective with everybody else that was catching the football for them, the next closest had 593 for the Chiefs. So, breakout year indeed.
And for me, it's how he did it, because he did it in a variety of ways, where there's an inline tight end, a guy who could split out and really become a wide receiver, and then when he caught the ball, he ran like he was a running back.
To throw on second down is Smith. This will be caught just inside the 10. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on third down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Throwing on third down, Smith. And that is incomplete. Chris Conley, the intended receiver. And now it's fourth down. Now, they've got to be a little frustrated here to not complete that on third down after having such a long drive going.
Hey, you're talking about going over 70 yards on the drive. Yeah, did you say a little frustrated?
Very frustrated.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Very frustrated. There's no doubt about it. They thought they were going to have a chance to cash in the end zone. Now it looks like it's likely a field goal attempt.
So after slogging through a scoreless first quarter, we have action on the scoreboard. A field goal makes it 3-0.
Well, with these two offenses, we weren't going to stay 0-0 forever, were we? I'm not sure that this opens the floodgates, but I doubt that's the last scoring we're going to see.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
So a defensive brain lapse there and an encroachment penalty.
Sometimes when you don't watch the football and make sure that it's snapped, you're watching the offensive player, and they can influence you occasionally and look like they're getting ready to move, and the officials don't detect it.
A first down throw for Cousins. On the catch, it's Crowder. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets.
Trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Trying to lay one up deep. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They'll come out in the pistol.
All right, here we go. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Cousins on first down. Jackson's got it over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
The first down screen pass, good for 5.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here we go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. A sea of Chiefs jerseys in there that time to make the stop. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Jordan Reed has it. And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive there. He hits the reliable target. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They give him 15 more, and it's another first down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
They come out here in the eye. They run it here with Thompson. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different. Try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's second and long. Second down, Cousins. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Derek Johnson. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. And big problems getting the play out, obviously. This will be a delay. And some real confusion here. They won't even get to the line.